Wow, that was quick. We're live. Hi. Okay, so actually I need to do a little bit of say.
Like that?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, good.
So we're gonna fix it up while people are getting on. We'll let takes a minute usually for people to jump on. Hi everybody. As they're coming on. Now the only problem is that the background is beautiful, but you guys look really dark.
Yeah, we don't see.
So let me switch this way.
Yeah, maybe we can see there.
So I'm gonna put the camera this way.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna switch around. You can
You
say
can
where you.
also have it like there.
Let's see.
you can
Okay, we're
still have
checking
the
out a few of the camera angles here.
We
No,
change
no,
the
no.
table because we have another table there.
No. It's this. Let me see. We're checking the lighting, you guys, because we want you to see their beautiful faces. Yeah, this is better. Jose, you're still kind of in the background. Let me see.
The people hear my voice.
Okay, so we're just getting set up. We wanted to show you the beautiful ocean, but otherwise you can't see my guests. So I'm going to leave it like this, and I think we can say that works. Yeah.
That works.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Let me have a seat, and then we'll go. Okay. Can you see us? I need to sit close up here so I can see the comments as they come in. Hi everybody, thanks for bearing with me. We're trying to get set up here so you can see everyone. So today, I don't know if you saw my announcement, I sent a little message out to everybody, but we're here to talk about colorism in the Dominican Republic. I'm going to introduce you to my guests in a second. Colorism has been a big topic that people have been writing me about and asking for me to cover, especially here in this country. So we're going to talk about it. So today I have two friends of mine. They're both Dominican, and they're going to share with you some of what their experiences are here, personally, just culturally, what have you. So first is Elizabeth.
Hi.
And you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Dominican. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo, and I moved to Las Terrenas about 3 years ago. I work in real estate at the moment, and I'm 26 years old.
Okay, great. That's perfect. That's perfect. Someone says hi. Hi.
Hi.
And then we have Jose over here. Jose, tell us about yourself.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jose Luis. I'm born in Samaná, Peninsula Samaná, the province. My parents moved when I have a 15 years old. After I have a 24, I come back to La Serena. I have a 7-year-old here in La Serena. My age is 31.
Okay.
I live in here. I work in here in La Serena. I'm the service of tour. And that's it.
So, but you've been living here for 7 years, you said?
Here in La Serena.
Okay.
I stay in La Serena for 7 years, but I came from to Samaná.
Samaná,
Yeah,
born for 7 years.
It's a Cabrera. You know what is
Cabrera.
Cabrera? Yeah,
Right,
my parents
right over
live in the north side.
Okay.
Yeah, they moved on the island because I played baseball before.
Okay.
I'm the sport man. After I finished my training or my profession of play baseball, I come to La Serena for working with the tours.
Okay.
I make a service of tours, service and tours in La Serena.
Yeah. So I wanted to have both of these people here, some of the different colors in the country, and I will tell you that actually I had someone tell me they were a little bit concerned about appearing because it can be a sensitive topic, but I'm really grateful that you guys were willing to appear to talk about this subject.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we talk about it, not just as Black people, Black Dominican, Black American, what have you, but just people, because this has been going on for a long time, not just here in the DR, certainly in the United States where I'm from. It's an issue very much among Black people. I don't know how much it comes up with other types of other races, but I wanted to address it here.
Yeah.
So, and the reason this is coming up, especially now for me, it's people have shifted, and that actually has to do with colorism, some of it. But there's a show, I did a video a couple weeks ago called, well, on a show on Netflix now, it's called Black AF. And I happen to like the show a lot, but I know the show has gotten a lot of criticism because it's a show about a Black family, and people are saying there aren't enough Black, like dark-skinned Black people on that show. And I said, well, but the show's not, it's about a man and his family, and they happen to be sort of lighter-skinned people, and so that's how this came up again as a topic to discuss now. So Elizabeth, tell me, we'll start with you. Tell me about your experience. You grew up in the capital in Santo Domingo?
Yes,
Okay.
I grew up in Santo Domingo. My class family, my parents were in the countryside, and they came to Santo Domingo and had me and my sisters when they were very young, like 23, 24 years old. All of my family is a mixed family. Like if you look at my family, there is black, there is white, there is in between, there is everything from both sides of my family. My closest part, like all my sisters are considered white. They are really light skin with dark hair, and just me and my brother are the ones that are considered the most dark skin. So I would start by something simple, but when I was a kid, they would like make fun of me because I was just like the darkest skin, not in a mean way, but just in like a funny way. Like I was the funny one, so they would make fun of.
Do they call you
my
morena
skin.
or anything?
Negrita,
Negrita.
or Haitianita, also like.
Haitianita.
Yes, this
so
is
like
very
little
common.
Haitian.
Yeah, this
Interesting.
is very common to call people who are dark skin, Haitianita or Haitianito. Like they will call you this.
So Haitianita means like little Haitian,
Little Haitian,
like
yeah.
looking like you're Haitian because your
Yeah.
skin is dark.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it wasn't considered like a mean thing to say to you.
No, it was considered like a funny thing to
Okay.
say. Most of the colorism in the Dominican Republic, I feel like it's thrown out there as a but I feel like there's much deeper problems, but it's just transmitted in a funny way because they don't like to cause trouble, they don't want to make you feel bad, but they will still tell you what they think.
Yeah.
So, or what we think. I mean, I'm Dominican too.
Okay.
So growing up, I pretty much had a normal life. I never really felt like affected by the color of my skin because most of the people who I was with, except for that part I mentioned, were the same skin color as me. The earliest memory of trying to be white that I have is the first time I went to the hair salon, and I used to have very long curly hair. And my mom said, well, it's time for us to straighten your hair because you're getting into that age of a teenager and you know you have to kind of do it. And even I was like excited to do it because everyone did. All my family has like hair salons.
So what does it mean that to straighten your hair? Like when you
Well,
like, why
I
is that important as you grow up? Or
I guess it makes you look better according to Dominican. Really, some of the words that people have used.
clean, interesting.
Clean, classy, just professional. Having straight hair means that you are better here.
Yeah.
Or meant because I feel like also in the Dominican Republic it has been changing a lot, and we're gonna get there. But I'm just talking about the beginning of my life, like 13 years old,
Yeah.
12 years old.
And certainly like in Santo Domingo, that's
And
where I
in Santo
noticed that
Domingo.
like, for example, when I came here a few years ago
Yeah.
to teach at the university, I had my hair naturally curly. My hair's not super curly, but naturally curly. And they told me, you know, if you wore your hair naturally, you couldn't get a job at a bank like
Yeah.
that. You'd have to straighten it.
Yeah.
And so I've heard that over and over again. For the professional positions,
Yeah.
you have to straighten your
Yeah.
hair. It's not considered, like you said, classy or elegant or appropriate
Yeah.
to have natural hair. But where we live, this little beach town, Las Arenas, there's so many people.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it here. So many women with natural hair, all kinds of colors, braids. The guys do things to their hair.
It's very
Generally,
different here, the experience that you have compared to Santo Domingo.
Yeah.
I feel like in Santo Domingo it's more obvious that people want to be white. People really want to be white. People straighten their hair, people don't take the sun, people try to dress as white as possible.
So what does that mean, dress white?
Well, I mean, I guess dressing white will be wearing the typical fashion from the United States or from Europe. That will be considered dressing white because it means that you have money.
Okay.
Here, being white means that you have money.
Yeah.
Straight up. So people want to be looked at in that way. So because of this, they will try to look as white as possible. A lot of women have made their hair like the sun, and they can pass as white.
Wow.
I could pass as
You
white
said
before.
that, yeah, so,
Yes.
so tell them what you told me a minute ago about how before you came
I
here.
remember, and this is one thing I have been like just thinking of lately, and is that before I remember I used to look at white models as an example of how I wanted to look. Always. I would look at magazines and I would look at the white girl with the perfect blonde hair, and I wanted to be that, and I wanted to have my hair like this, and I wanted to have my face like this, and I wanted to look like skinny like them. But after I transitioned to my curly hair, I have been trying to change my mindset more and more, and now I look at black models instead, or women that actually look like me,
Right.
so that I don't try to be something I'm not, because I am not white.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, but when people used to mistake you for white, did you feel good about that, or did you have any feel about about?
For example, and we will go to places and people would be like very easy on me, and like they will be like, okay, you go in, but them they will be more looked at or like stopped and asked more questions.
Okay.
So I could feel like there was a privilege that I had at that time when I could pass for white.
Right.
And even now, I mean, if I compare to some of my friends who are much more dark skinned from Santo Domingo, they still are lighter skin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Jose. Well, good.
Conversation is a good conversation.
Yeah. So tell us about when you were growing up. And well, first of all, tell us about your family. Was your family like a mix of colors, or what is your family like in that way?
You know, for my family, we have a lot of comments because we are black. My dad is black, my mom and dad, my granddaddy, and my grandmom, both side, mom and daddy, everyone is black. It's possible we have I don't know, the Indian color, we call mulatto, no? It's probably we have it, but not 100% white. Because where I came from, we came from England, you know, about the colonization. This is why we have the black color in that side where I am.
Wait a second. You said you came from England.
No, exactly. The black people in the colonization, remember, first time Spain people come to use in the island, and I talking about the Columbus colonization. First is Columbus. After Columbus, the Spain people follow him. After the French people. After that, the slaves coming from Africa, and Africa, England. The people come from Philadelphia. They stay a couple people black color stay in Samana.
So let me just stop real quick. So tell me what he's talking about when he says people coming like from the United States, Philadelphia. There's where we live now in Las Arenas is part of a peninsula in the Dominican Republic called Samana, and a lot of really escaping or free black people came from Philadelphia and settled here. So they were English-speaking American blacks who came here, former slaves, and they came and settled here. So there was a large English-speaking population very close to where we're about 45 minutes away from here. So that's what you're saying. So your family, some of is from those people.
This is the descendants where we come from.
Okay, this
is why if you come to the peninsula and you pass around, you see a lot of people like my color.
Yeah.
More than black and the white color.
Yeah.
But what I say before we have a lot of comment is because when I baby, many people talking Haitianito, like same you.
Haitianito, saying the same.
The black, the baby, like a negrito come coco is the little kids eating coconut. You know, it's because we are in the peninsula, we have a lot of coconut. It's the people working with the coconut. The coconut is the first product we have it for export and the world. I did with the negrito come coco, herbs, the pimienta, cabello, the pimienta, different expression for us.
So let me just explain. So he's talking about expressions, and for those who aren't understanding that part, expressions that they would use to describe the darker skinned people where he lived when he grew up.
For the skin, yeah.
Right.
But it's exactly no for often. It's just it's like for funny moment or just for playing with you. But because in the Dominican Republic, we are real white, we are real black, we are mixed. Because if I telling you about the first story of the Dominican Republic, is the white people coming, the Spain, Franks, but it's no descendant of France and Spain. Now we are descendants of the world because many people, Dominican marry with all the people come to the Dominican Republic. I don't know, Martinique, you have a lot of story of the Dominican Republic. This is why we are a different color, but it's exactly something she said before. In the city, the people or the girls first, the girls of the men want to be white because for her, they think it is much better. It's more beautiful. You see the
you're prettier if you consider you're prettier if you're a light-skinned girl.
You feel beautiful, you feel rich because if you have it rich, you go on the beach like a white color, you never take the sun off, you have the sun cream, you feel like that.
So I have a question for you. So you mentioned the Dominicans are a mixed population, and it's true.
Yeah,
so
we are mixed.
So Spaniards came here, colonized the country. French for the France colonized the country for a short time.
Yeah.
There were the Tainos who were here,
Yeah.
right?
But we don't have a descendant of Taino because the Taino is everyone is there, died.
Well, they were dead, but before they died, though.
Yeah.
They're still in our DNA.
Yeah, they're in your DNA. They don't exist anymore, but they're in your DNA.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear you mention anything about Africans.
Africa.
So let me ask you. So I want to hear about why you said that, and also what's the Dominican attitude about being considered partly African? Do you guys consider yourselves? Do you recognize you
I
have African
personally
heritage?
do.
I know. What is
Good question.
Yeah, it's very hard question there. But you know what? When I told you the story of the Dominican Republic, we have it. The Spain used the slave from Africa.
Spain used slaves from Africa. True.
The French people use the slave from Africa.
French too. Yeah.
This is where we have a existence and ID because the people from Africa come with the French people, and we have a little star, letter star. After we have the island is separate. We have an ID and Dominican Republic.
Right.
The
Split the
people
island
from
too.
the people is not ID. It's a country. I don't know. They have the name.
Before Haiti, you mean?
Before Haiti.
I don't remember.
I don't remember, but they have another name. When they have a separation, the people from Africa, they started with the people from France, and they want to stay. They want to be free. They want
talking about the
independence.
slaves?
Independence.
The African slaves on
Yeah,
independence? Right, sure, of course.
The people, couple people from Africa stay in Dominican Republic, and that's the size of Dominican Republic. This is why the Dominican have that culture like Africa, you know, because and the first story we have it, the people in Dominican Republic from Africa.
Yeah.
We have an African president in Dominican Republic. We call the name Asian, but it's not really Asian. It's after the colonization. We have that descendants, but descendants, the people are East and Haiti is from Africa.
No, but not just in Haiti,
Yeah,
right? So there's
it's like the Dominican Republic.
Well, there's
That island, La Española, but it's not really Spain.
so the island, the whole island, Dominican Republic and Haiti, is called Hispaniola, which came from La Isla Española, Spanish island, when it was captured, right? When the Spaniards took it, when Columbus came, right?
Yeah.
And then it was divided into two, the larger part being the Dominican Republic, and the other third being Haiti. But I guess what I'm getting at is that a lot of Dominicans, and I've heard viewers talk about this, and other just people in general say that Dominicans do not, either don't want to or aren't willing to acknowledge their African roots. You hear about them saying it with mestizo, indio, and black, or we have African in us, even though the music reflects African heritage, the food reflects the African heritage. The people look like they're from, even though there are those of us who are, well, I'm not Dominican, but who look more, because we've been more mixed,
Yeah.
there's still African in our blood. And so I'm curious as to why that may be something that and I'm not talking about just you or even you at all, but like why that would be that Dominicans don't want to associate with African culture.
I don't know. Exactly the question I respond to you, I don't know. Why? Because we are descendants of Africa.
Descendants, yeah.
Well, I don't know. This is my question too. Because if we have a culture African, we have if you know the 27th of February,
February 27th,
27, you
Independence
see
Day.
the painting, you see it's still all from Africa. It's descendant Africa, But we are Caribbean place, Caribbean island,
Yeah.
but we have a descendant from Africa. But the problem is of Dominican is we don't know who we are because we don't know if you is from Spain because we have a different city like for example.
Higüey is another. Hang on. Higüey is another town in the DR. Okay.
Yeah, it's another time. And
Yeah.
this town and that city, many people from Spain, they stay there. The people descendant from Spain stay there. But many people from Canada, Canadians, stay here in Mocha. Different way, different size.
So different nationalities prefer to stay in different parts of the country. Okay.
For example, here in Samaná, we are many people from Africa because the people call Cocolo, before the Cocolo, and we the black people stay in that peninsula in this area.
So there was a lot of people obviously of African descent because of their dark skin color who were in Samaná for the reason we talked about with the people coming from the slaves coming from Philadelphia. But so interestingly, when that happened, wasn't that when Trujillo was in power? And Trujillo basically kind of wanted to cut off the. First of all, let me say Trujillo was a dictator here in the Dominican Republic for 31 years, and exactly. And so his dictatorship only ended in 1961 when he was assassinated. So it's not that long ago. I mean, there's like our parents would remember, or your parents would remember Trujillo.
My grandparents.
Your grandparents, okay. But so there was something about Samana because there was such a dark-skinned population there, and they were English speaking. I remember reading something, and you guys can help me out on this, where it was sort of isolated because they wanted to, I don't know if they wanted to maintain the English-speaking population or keep the dark-skinned people separate, but there was something about Samana that they were made separate from the rest of the country. Do you know what that is?
I know.
Okay.
This is Trujillo want to separate, no one to the people stood because, and the story of Samana is, people have the English language. They have that culture, not having another culture. They have a church difference, they have a different language, different style. They feel a difference. But when Trujillo is president, they want to separate, or they want the people not continue with the language or with the style or with the English. They want just Spanish. Trujillo don't want the people talking another language in Dominican Republic because Dominican Republic is the people from Spain. Trujillo come from Spain. He wants all the people.
Trying to see where people are coming. Go ahead.
Okay, Trujillo wants all the people from Spain have a good communication. For in Spain and Dominican Republic, they travel a lot of products like organic product like avocado, something like that, rice, beans.
So
and
why?
That's time.
So let me say this about Trujillo. I understand that he used to associate with the Spanish population that was here again because they were whiter. Well, they were white, I guess, and for the economy, they wanted to be able to trade and do business, and so aligning yourself with a whiter population could have those kinds of benefits, right? If you align yourself with Ghana or Ivory Coast in West Africa, the opportunities
you would be looked down on.
Absolutely, the opportunities are not going to be there. So economically, I understand. I may not agree with it, but I understand why that happens. What were you going to say?
I actually have I have my own theory about why Dominicans don't like to be associated with their. Something I wanted to speak with, and is that when you ask Dominican people where do they come from, what is their mix in their family, where their family from, they will always be so happy to talk to you about their European heritage. They will mention their great grandfather who was Spanish or French or English or German or whatever, but they don't have no idea about the black side of their family. It's like it doesn't exist. And part of it is probably because they don't have memory of it, because it's like those people who were brought here, those slaves, were basically taken away from their names, and they're new people now. They don't know where they're from, and so I understand that part. But at the same time, I also feel like people try to hide the fact that there is black people on their family. They won't even mention it. And I think that wanting to be white comes all the way from the colonialism. It's the first part of why we don't want to be black, or why we don't want to be considered black. Because back in the colonialism, if you were black, it meant that you were poor. It meant that you were a slave. So if you were lighter skin, if your parents already mixed with white, well, then you have better chances to move to the upper society because you can pass as white. But as long as you're black, as long as you recognize yourself as black, you're a slave.
It's the same thing in the U.S. where we had with the slaves, the lighter skinned slaves would be able to work what they call in the house, right? Doing the domestic work, cooking, taking care of kids, and that work was hard, but it wasn't as hard as if you're working out in the field. Like here, the braceros, they call them, people who are cutting the cane and all that stuff.
Is there something
right?
Is this for example?
Right, and so there was always an advantage associated with having lighter skin, hair that's more, all those kinds of things. In the U.S., they had a thing called two things, a paper bag test. So like a paper bag is like, well, now I'm tan too, but it's like about this color. And if your skin was lighter than a paper bag, you could go and work in the house, right? You get certain benefits. If you're darker than the paper bag, out you go, right? And have the hard work. Also, they have you walk in front of a fan. And so you walk in front of a fan. If your hair blows, you can stay inside. If your hair doesn't move, out. So, and it was a way also to pit black people against one another, because then it's like, well, I don't want to be with you.
It's a way to tell you to hate yourself.
Yes, it's divide and conquer. Divide and conquer.
It's a way to tell to hate. So I feel like this situation in the Dominican Republic has just been passing generation for generation, where if you associate yourself to white, it means that you have more money and that you are even smarter. People would say that you're smarter if you're white. etc., etc. There are a lot of words that are they relate to being black and that they relate to being white. Um, and most of the ones that are related to being black are negative.
Yeah.
Are
Right.
negative. Even, I don't know, like when you think about black people who are on the TV, for example, I can think about one example, the first Miss Universe that came with her curly hair, which is when this movement kind of popped up here in the Dominican Republic and women started accepting themselves more and understanding that they're black and that this is their hair and that they don't have to straighten it. And this girl, she was actually from, and everybody was criticizing her and calling her ugly, and how could she win? She was so ugly, and this and this and that. And it was only because she was black.
Yeah.
If it had been a white person,
Right.
they all would love her.
Yeah.
So this situation of people favoring white people than black people has been seen forever.
So have you guys noticed, for example, in like when people decide to date and get married, that they would rather be married to or associated with a person who's lighter skinned, because then the chances are your children are going to look lighter and they'll have a better opportunity in life? Have you heard of that being the case?
Yeah.
Or have
For
you experienced
me,
that?
For my family, for example, I got my little brother married with a white
I'm
girl.
missing the comments. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
With a white girl.
Uh-huh.
Why? And say it's more better if you have if I clean the color of my son, or if
Still
I
going
clean
on,
my
yeah.
family. It's like I clean the family because we are black. Okay, mom and daddy, son, black. We are 10 brothers.
You have
My
10 brothers?
10.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a
My
bunch
mom and my
for
daddy have 10 children.
you. Okay.
3 sisters and 7 brothers. We are
Okay.
7
Okay.
for us. But you know what is the situation before is the people, for example, the black people, working hard for the white people.
Right.
They prepare the ground, or they all got plant the cane, the sugar cane, they plant coconut, they plant all the fruit. They prepare the ground for the natural plantation. Yeah, the rice,
Right.
everything. This is why the white people don't want to be black, don't want to contact with the black people, because the black people is the people working hard in the island. Here, I told you
Absolutely.
about my story here. I don't know in the state, but we have it.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who's working out in the field.
But you know what? In the time of Trujillo time, and the season of Trujillo's president, and used a lot of people, black people, for planting the sugar cane in La Romana and San Pedro, here close to Santo Domingo, San Cristobal, and have a house. Trujillo have a house.
Yeah, he's
in
buried
San
there too,
Cristobal.
yeah?
Yeah, for planting coffee production, cacao production, sugar
Coffee,
cane. This is
chocolate,
why
yeah.
the people don't want marry or don't want to live with the black people. But after Trujillo, different is thinking about that situation, because Trujillo is a dictator here,
A dictator, right?
dictator.
Yeah.
He want to do everything him say want to do. The people have to do it. If people don't do it,
Economics, they said. It's definitely economics.
okay.
Yeah.
If you
Sorry, guys, I'm missing your comments because there's such a glare. It's hard for me to see. But please keep sending them, and I'll try to catch them when I can. Go ahead.
okay, if Trujillo say, okay, I want to take, but after Trujillo died, after Rafael Trujillo, Leonida Trujillo is the name, died, we have a bus is the after
Right, the
Trujillo.
president, next
Him
president, yeah.
is have a different thing, a different culture, different. He love everyone. He want to
so
change.
he didn't have the whole color issue. It
no,
was one bosh. The next one.
Trujillo did to all, but Trujillo have it. He's really about the what do you say, racismo? Yeah, how you say? it?
1800.
Racism. Thank you very much.
I missed
Because
it.
I know
Send
how
it
to
again.
read good English, but we can try.
You know, he's doing a great job. By the way, I'm having them speak in English. I appreciate that. Can you just tell everybody how many languages you guys speak? I know it's several. ¿Cuántos idiomas? 5. 5 languages this man speaks. That's
But I
impressive.
know every time I speaking very well.
And now you speak English very well.
Very
I
good.
appreciate it. I'm sure they appreciate it too.
But you know what? And the Trujillo come from Spain, and the Spain in this time, the people don't like a black color. The white is white. It's like a London. In London, is like 50 years ago or 100 years ago. The people white is the purity. Is the first,
White
is
would
the, is
represent
the,
purity,
is the
yeah.
princess, is the, I don't know.
But so here's this. So check this out, though. They say they don't like black color, but how many white people do you see coming here, even like the Las Arenas, and want all these dark-skinned women?
But you know what? This
So
time,
many of them.
Because we black women are very sexualized by white
but you know what? Now
Straight
it's a
up
different story.
Sexualization. Mhm.
Yeah.
Now it's different story.
Let's talk about that.
Because you like everyone, I love everyone. For me, everyone is the same. All human is the same. But if we're talking about 10 years ago or 50 years before, like 15 years before or 10 years before, the people, it's a different story. Because after 1,000, like after 2000, the people changed the mind. People changed their mind because before, the people know everyone want to be rich, everyone want to live separate. The people have a love, but they want to live separate. If you have money, you move in the city with the people rich.
Well, not just rich, but also white, right?
Yeah,
Even if you were black with money, you couldn't
But the people
get
is
moved to certain
black. If the
places.
people is black, want to change the king, want to use a green, want to stay
like
all
Sammy
the time.
Sosa.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sammy Sosa, want to stay on the air conditioner air. The car is closed with the air all the time.
Yeah.
No one to take a sun.
Uh-huh.
But because he want to feel white, because have money.
So let me ask you this about Sammy Sosa. So Sammy Sosa, if you don't somehow know who Sammy Sosa is, was a Dominican baseball player. He's living, but he's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Hugely successful. Was he like a Hall of Fame player? Like a championship player, right? Was a dark-skinned guy from, ¿de dónde era?
San Pedro de Macorís.
From San Pedro. He, after he came back to the DR, he used...
looks like a
he looks
vampire from
crazy.
Twilight.
He looks like a clown, and so, but he had money.
The story of him is
Yeah, why would he do that?
one night in Las Romanas, in the town, Las Romanas town, we have a Casa de Campo. Casa de Campo is what the rich people
rich
live in there.
people in the
Live in
south.
there. It's the complex for rich people. If you don't are rich, you
Clowns like
never
that
go
everywhere, yeah,
inside.
it's true.
If you don't have the money, you never stay. You have
Right.
to be a rich, original rich.
To have
No-
access.
Yeah.
So even if you had money like Sammy Sosa, you wouldn't have access.
But you know what?
Dominicans laugh at him. Dominicans laugh at Sammy Sosa?
You know what?
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa one day want to go on the restaurant, in one restaurant in Casa de Campo. But the security and the manager of the restaurant say, because you are black and you don't got money, you know are rich.
So they assume you
Sammy
don't
Sosa,
have money.
Sammy
because-
Sosa say, I'm millionaire, man. I'm baseball player. I'm famous, really famous. And this time, famous.
Uh-huh.
And he played for the Chicago Cubs
Yeah.
in the United States. He is the first or most famous guys in the baseball.
is Rafael
Sammy
Garcia?
Sosa. Samuel Sosa is the one more famous baseball player Dominican in the
Yeah,
state.
one of the most famous players for sure.
One, yeah.
And he was rich, but even with the money,
After
they
that,
assumed because he was dark, he was poor.
after that story, I think, but I don't know it's real, but him have many things think in the main, and he changed the color for that. He say, money, I want to, I change my color with my money, I do it, everything I want to do, because I don't know why. Sometimes the people, because Sammy Sosa, or Samuel Sosa, before go to play baseball, Major League Baseball, him cleaning the shoes.
He was a clean shoes, really.
Clean shoes in the street.
I didn't know that.
The mom of him is from Africa.
Huh.
He's Haitian.
His mother's Haitian?
He's Haitian.
Sammy Sosa's mother's Haitian.
Yes.
Well, no, I mean, that's a terrible thing, but so he associated being black, with hard time, no meat,
San
hard
Pedro,
work. Wow.
many people stay there for clean the cane, the sugar cane, for prepare the ground, for prepare the ground for the sugar cane, because in La Romana, we have the more bigger company we call of sugar. The more bigger company of sugar is the Central Romana. It's close to the Casa de Campo. You know, it one is I don't know the famous music man. I don't know.
Juan Luis Guerra?
No, Juan Luis Guerra. From Spain.
¿Y qué hace?
El cantor.
Juan
que
Luis
es-
Guerra.
No, Juan Luis Guerra no.
He's thinking of a famous
Que es-
Spanish singer, but I
que,
don't know.
porque él que ha hecho mucha inversión en toda la parte del país. No Juan Luis Guerra, él es español. No, Luis Miguel no. Él. Iglesias,
Anyway,
¿cómo
so
se
what
llama?
about
¿Cómo se
it?
llama? Julio Iglesias.
Julio Iglesias.
Julio
Okay,
Iglesias.
yeah,
Julio
okay.
Iglesias.
Julio
Yeah,
Iglesias,
thank
yeah.
you. him have many investment in Punta Cana or in La Romana, Casa de Campo, La Roma, Punta Cana. I'm here in Samaná. Not much here in Samaná, but him have many investment there. About that, Sammy Sosa, because he's no rich people. He's people. He's a man come from the street. We call it like that. We call it like poor people don't have money. The man have to buy working. You know, he make a break. They break in the morning for gain some money for buy the food for lunch for the family. Him clean shoe all the time for gain little money for help the family.
Right.
After that, that's the story of Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa after that practice baseball, sign the contract, play professional, go to major league, gain a lot of money. He's famous after that because him have an idea like I don't know, either like crazy mint because him not having money. People say everything like many bad comments like black people, Haitian, call me Coco, whatever. Him doing everything want to do. It's why I think him change the color, but him say have a problem in the skin. This is what he say, have a problem in the skin. But it's
because he didn't want to admit why he was doing it.
Yeah.
So he said he had a skin condition, is what he's saying, and that's why he changed the color of his skin, not because of the issues he had when he was younger, because of his family, but
different story.
Yeah, I think story. We know the real story.
I don't know. We have to talk with Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, I know, but it seems a little strange. Okay. Yeah.
But Sammy Sosa is a great boy. He have help the people in San Pedro. Have a little boy for practice baseball.
So, and he's married?
I don't know.
I wonder what Sammy Sosa's wife looked like. Did he marry a very light-skinned woman?
Yeah, they're like. This is like one.
Yes. Well, here he is. Hang on, comments. Let's see here. Like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson.
He's asking about you.
Like Michael Jackson.
This is Elizabeth. She's a Dominicana.
We have another story. I like that because in Dominican, it's really we have a lot of comment, a lot of story about the color because the white people are thinking it's much better than black people.
What do you mean the white people think the black people are better?
This is I'm talking about the story, my story, because in Dominican Republic, if you are white, you think you are more professional, you have a much better student, you have a different.
Sorry guys, it's hard for me to see the comments. It's really hard. There's such a glare. Anyway, go ahead. Show at least you guys.
Okay, you have a different student, you have a different presentation, you travel. Okay, you travel on the world, you go to a student stay, or I don't know, London. Europe, I don't know, whatever. But because the black people from Africa come from where?
Slaves.
They come from where? To clean working for the white people.
Right. You don't see any light-skinned Dominicans cleaning.
Okay. But
Sosa's mother was not Haitian. They said Sammy Sosa's mother was not Haitian.
The descendant, the people, him come from.
Oh, he's descended from Haitians. Yeah. Jackson, what's up? Okay, so he's descended from Haiti. I don't know if his mother was actually Haitian. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
And Raul Mondesi is a baseball player too. San Cristobal, him go one night to the disco, and that disco him go, the security say, hey, you don't go inside because you don't have the money and you are black.
Yeah.
But you know what? At another day, Raul Mondesi buy that disco because he have money.
Have you ever been mistaken for Haitian? Have you ever been called Haitian, like as an adult? Not that what's the word, the nickname?
Haitiano.
No. But when they call you when you're a little kid, Haitianito?
Haitianito.
So not that, but like as an adult, have you been considered Haitian? Like discriminated against?
The people doing, not many people, because we have a little story for Haiti and Dominican Republic. We have when they want to separate the island, we have a little problem. Many people from Haiti killing the people from Dominican Republic. Many people from Dominican Republic killing the people from Haiti. What is the situation? With like my granddaddy or my grandma, for example, have a story, they don't like it, Haitian people.
Your grandmother and grandfather?
For example, I'm talking like 30 years ago. Yeah, or 40 years ago. The people don't like Haitian people. Or the Haitian don't like Dominican. Because if you know something, the Haitians say, if you want girl from Haiti, have a baby, say to the baby, okay, you know what? You are an enemy of the people from Dominican.
Wow.
Because they want to Trujillo make killing the people from Haiti and the river the name massacre is because one president killing a lot of people from Haiti because he don't want the people from Haiti come to Dominican Republic.
Right, to mix with them.
That story is why the people from Haiti say
that's what Trujillo
Dominican
wanted.
Republic is your enemy.
I miss it.
No want to be friend.
Right.
If you see that now, we love the Haitian. We love it, the people from Haiti.
Do you really think that Dominicans love Haitians, though?
For me, I love it.
You do, but I think there's a lot of issues.
I think some people from Dominican don't like it because for that story, it's like, for example, if you know the Russian people, for example, or the French people, the people from France don't want to stay in another country. I talking like old people, not the young, because we are different. We are different creation. For me, for you, for example, I don't know, I have a 30 years old, you have a 26, you have a, I don't know, like a 15, yeah. But you know what? The people have like a 60, 70 years old, they have another style. They have another style, another mind. They know it's thinking the same we have.
Sorry guys, I'm missing your comments. Go ahead.
They don't have it. They don't have the same expression we have it today because today we are everyone together. For example, La Serena is a tourist place.
Yeah.
Everyone come here. African, American,
Jamaican,
Dominican,
right.
Haitian, everyone. But we have to accept everyone.
Elizabeth, do you think Dominicans are comfortable with Haitians, that they like Haitians? Or?
No.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
What do you think?
I think I cannot generalize because there's Dominicans and there's Dominicans. There's everything here. But I think that there is a big conflict between Dominicans and Haitians. It exists. It's there, and you usually hear the comments. I have personally heard comments that are awful.
Like what?
I cannot even repeat the comments. They are just absolutely awful, offensive to Haitian people, and I have heard it personally from Dominican people.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people like to use the excuse of the conflict between Dominican Republic and Haiti, but I don't accept this as a reason, because if it was truly the reason, then we will have the same situation with Spanish, but we don't. Because they were the first problem.
Yeah.
And I don't see Dominican people hating on Spanish for being the colonizer. Sorry, those are my dogs.
I think you don't want to pay the cable, huh?
I don't see Dominican people having problem with Spanish people because they were colonizers. I don't see Dominican people asking Spanish people to pay for all the crimes that they committed and all the people that they killed. And the situation that happened between Haiti and Dominican Republic was in the 1800s. So no, your grandparents, my grandparents, great grandparents were not even. Long story from a long time ago.
Yeah.
I feel like it really has to do with the color of the skin, and I feel like not only in the Dominican Republic it happens, but it happens in many places where one country wants to consider it or less than them to push on them or to being racist towards them. I think in the Dominican Republic, between the Dominican Republic and Haiti, it works both ways. I also think some Haitians hate Dominicans as well, but I think it's just a response to the situation.
Yeah.
I think that there has to be a point sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hold on, let me see if I can get this comment real quick. It says, you're welcome, you're welcome. Always a need to make yourself superior. Yeah, they're saying there's always a need to make yourself superior.
This is human. And it happens with individuals, and it happens with communities, and it happens with countries, and it happens with everything.
So I will tell you this, you guys. Hi, I'm trying to read the comments, so I'm getting really close off camera here. When I got here, Alina, when I came here, I was around some students who were visiting from other countries. They came here to volunteer and everything, and there was a person, I don't want to say anybody's name, but there was a person who was hosting these students, and they sat around outside one night at the hotel where they were staying, and talked about like Dominican culture and everything, and this person, the host, was saying that basically the whole issue of Dominican and Haitians was that, you know, Dominicans were taught that Haitians were sort of like barbaric, or because they're close, because they appear more African, they're darker, their religion was not like Catholicism, it's you know, like that voodoo, bad stuff, that all those types of things made them inferior. But then he said, although we know this, we all know, all Dominicans know this isn't really true, but it's what we're told, and so we embrace it. And one of the volunteer students asked, well, are you sharing that? Are you telling like these young people, these young Dominicans, that this is not really what's true, that was all about like political stuff? And he said, well, basically he said no.
No, because most people want
So
to
why
hide
would
it.
you-
They don't want to acknowledge this. People don't want to acknowledge.
But they
the
let
situation.
it continue.
Yes, because
It's
they don't want to
terrible.
confront it. They don't want to confront it. They don't want to confront themselves. They don't want to accept that at some point they have been racist.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
Wow.
They cannot accept any. Actually, a lot of Dominican people don't even know that they're racist. They think this is normal. They think that this behavior is normal, and it's not. And it's because we have been brainwashed since ever. Like as long as since you're a kid, you're already being brainwashed as to think that white is better than black, and you assume that white is better than black. You are told that you need to hate Haitians, that Haitians are your enemies.
Yeah.
You are told this when you're a kid.
Did either of you ever have situations in your families where you were told or suggested, like, date a person who's lighter skinned, or maybe it's better to associate with those people because you'll have.
My family never made these kind of comments. My mom and my dad were always just choose whoever you want to date and date that person. But actually, I remember myself saying that I didn't want to date a black man. I always told my mom I want a prince. I want a man with blue eyes, tall, white skin. This is what I thought was the most beautiful, so that's what I wanted for myself. But my parents never told me I had to. But even if they don't tell you, because of how you see society, because of the school experiences that you have, because of work experiences that you have, you start to think that you need to date a white man.
Have you ever dated a black man?
I have, yes. Actually, I dated an African man.
An
from Ethiopia.
African man?
Yes.
You went all the way. She went all the way. And how was it?
Great.
Awesome.
Great. Actually, back then I thought it was a great experience for me. But nowadays, like my current partner is white, but I'm not dating him because he's white. I am dating him because he's a person that I admire, and who is smart, and who I love, and who is the best man I know. But back in the day, I wish I could tell myself like,
Excuse me,
You know.
you know me?
no, I'm taken already. Sorry, I'm taken. I'm taken. But back in the day, I wish I could go back and tell myself like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But these are things that I'm currently working on, and I was talking to my friends the other day that the change that we have to do in our minds and our attitudes and our thinking are constant. This doesn't just happen. You don't just become like not racist from one day to the next.
It's one decision at a time.
Yes,
Right.
it's every day when you get that thought and you're like, whoa, Elizabeth, that is so racist.
Right.
What are you saying?
And
What are you
beginning
thinking?
Yeah, beginning to recognize that you're having a thought
Exactly.
even. You know, sometimes it
Exactly.
just goes by.
Yeah.
You don't know it.
Exactly.
You know? So what about you and your family? Did you ever hear anything about it might be better if you dated a light-skinned woman or marry someone or anyone else? Did your brothers, you have all these brothers, did any of them ever want to date women who were whiter looking?
My old brother
Uh-huh.
said, because I love a black woman. I love it. I don't know why, because I love it. A tall one, a big one. This is mine. But my old brother said, take you, your black girl. I want my wife. Him married, him living to Puerto Rico for 16 years old.
16 years.
16
Oh, since he was 16 years
16,
old.
16 years old.
Since he, okay, went to Puerto
My
Rico.
brother,
Yeah.
my old brother.
Yeah.
Married was another brother for my family. He's not exactly white or black, but him like it's like different people. I know. I love a black. I care what to marry with a black one, but him brother is the different.
Did your parents never
My
said
pa-
anything
my
about?
parents never say about that. My parents I said everything.
Yeah.
You know, they is okay with everything. We know because we are black, all my family,
Yeah.
and they have look at how many kids I have my daddy and my mom. 10.
Yeah.
10
Something was
kids,
working,
you
right?
know, for they no is important, color no is important,
Yeah.
race or no race. It's
The
not
level
important.
of
Mine-
racism in DR is one of the. I'm assuming you're saying it was a high level of racism in the DR. Would you guys think? Do you think that there's a high level of racism here? This
I
country?
think there is a
Sorry,
lot of
Miss Trump.
social racism.
Yeah.
Social racism. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, what I mean is that in order for you to be part of certain groups, or in order for you to get maybe better job opportunities,
Yeah.
the lighter skin that you look, the more likely that you will get accepted. I have personally seen in companies that I've worked where people would come to interview and we would see them, and when there was a dark skinned person, my boss or my ex-boss would say like, oh, we don't really want this Haitianito.
Yeah.
Like literally she would express that
This is real.
in front of everyone. So I have seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's not even hidden.
Unless this person was like much better than every white person that came, like
Wow.
to a level that she cannot
Right.
take it away from this person, she would probably choose the whiter person than the black person.
Just because they're whiter.
Yes.
But you know what?
Just because
It's like the U.S. It's very much like the U.S. Sadly. Hang on. Okay, I still can't see your comment, guys. I'm sorry. It's just such a glare out here. The sun's really bright.
You know
What were you gonna say?
You know what? In Dominican Republic, it's not exactly the color, but exactly this the presentation. For example, if you have a 40 years old, for go to find a job, it's very difficult for me. You know, but if I have a 20, 25, I feel good. You know, I feel it.
Okay, you know what? We have to wrap up soon because we're running out of conversation. Oh, thank you. We're running out of battery. But go ahead, go ahead. Well, let me just say this. I want to thank you guys. Hold on. Economic racism, the Blanquitos are in management parts. What's sad is until recently they had to not, no. I'm sorry, you guys. Plus, we're on a quarantine situation here, so it's a little after 4. We all have to be in our houses on lockdown by 5 o'clock. So next time we'll do a part 2. How about that? And we'll start earlier in the day.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, okay, so we'll finish it because there's so much to talk about here.
Yeah, there's a long topic.
That's true. No problem.
Let me just say thank you so much to my guests, Elizabeth and Jose Luis.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hola, human beings are tribal by nature. Willie Lynch syndrome plays a big part of controlling people of color. Awesome topic. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll come back and check with you later. My battery's dying too. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Have a great afternoon. Goodbye, everyone. See you soon.